راب اب من رامي سلمان لتسجيل الاجتماعات بالصوت وتدوينها.
كم مرة كنتوا باجتماع وما قدرتوا تدونوا تفاصيل الاجتماع بدقة؟ كم مرة كنتوا باجتماع وفقدتوا بعض المعلومات المهمة اللي قيلت بالاجتماع؟ لحل مشكلة تدوين الملاحظات الأساسية والضرورية بالاجتماعات هناك تطبيق جديد بيحمل اسم راب اب ستارت اب جديدة وتطبيق جديد بحل معضلة حفظ الاجتماعات وحضورها وتدوين أهم ملاحظاتها. حنتعرف على تطبيق راب اب مع مؤسس ستارت اب راب اب رامي سلمان.
WrappUp is actually a voice recorder for your meetings. So it allows you to summarize discussions right from a recording. So anytime you typically would have picked up a pen, scribbled a note, just press a button and the app captures a highlight. Highlights can be action items, they can be decisions, you can tag people, due dates, and all of your minutes become playable. So you can listen back to every single moment from that meeting. On top of it, we actually make every single word searchable. So it's like a Google for speech. You put in a word and we find every single time that that word was said for easy playback and reference.
Nice. And technically, I would love to know how it works technically.
So technically speaking, voice is similar to any other type of information. You compute it into mathematical information and then we try to pull out from it what we want. So for speech to text, we use Watson's engine and we actually transcribe all the speech into text. But then what we do is we actually search through the phonetic equivalent. So what it sounds like instead of what it's written as. So when you type in a search term, we search for the same word, but in terms of how it sounds in the audio recording and find that exact moment for playback. We use the same mechanism to actually cut the audio by speaker. So like your thumbprint, when you scan into your phone, we can actually identify each speaker based on their voice print. So second by second, I can understand when you're speaking, when I'm speaking. So if I'm looking for the time where you said the thing about that client, I type in your name, the client, and then I find all those moments.
How did you come up with the idea?
So I worked as a consultant at Bain & Company for 4 years in Dubai. Worked on projects in oil and gas, retail, tech, and it was always the same thing. In a meeting, there's an important moment, everyone's head, as soon as they hear it, runs into their notebook and they start scribbling. We're all sitting around the same table. Instead of focusing on the discussion, we're focusing on the notes. Why not just have something that you press a button, captures it, stores it, plays it back, and then you can send it out to everyone. So that's where WrappUp came.
And when did you start and who's your staff?
So I met my two co-founders at a hackathon, and they're amazing developers. They built something that it won the competition in under 24 hours. So this
Where was
whole
that?
Angel Hack Dubai competition, 24 hours coding. And what he built that day not only won the competition, but I used it the next week at my Bain meetings and I quit the next month.
So you felt that this idea is excellent from that moment. Wasn't it risky to leave your job?
It was risky, but when you have co-founders like I do, very powerful techies, young 22, 21-year-olds who can really build some powerful things, you got to take a chance, you got to go for it.
And who's you're targeting by WrappUp?
So we're targeting analysts, we're targeting salespeople, we're targeting anybody who has meetings really and wants to get more out of them. It's really an automated way of actually summarizing discussion and it helps people get more out of their meetings. So we call it meetings with momentum.
Just for meetings or for conferences?
So we've actually expanded beyond meetings. We have it in education, we have it in interviews, online meetings, sales calls. So it's really just the concept of having a conversation and extracting what you want out of that conversation, making that accessible to you. So it's kind of like a summarization for any place where you can have a discussion.
Would you like to show me on your phone, the app, how it works?
For sure. So the app is really simple. Basically, you load the app, and what it does is it loads your calendar. So I can build off of existing meetings, and I can select from those meetings the ones that I want. So let's say I wanted to go into this progress update meeting here. I simply click the record button, and I can launch a recording. From there, it's actually recording everything that we're saying. Right now, we'd be in the meeting, and let's say you said something that's really interesting and I want to remember it. Right? I'm in the discussion, I'm talking to you, but still I can push the button, and it begins capturing what we call a highlight. Now I can tag this highlight as an action item, as a decision. I can then leave it.
I should tag it at the same moment, right?
You can tag it during, or you can do it afterwards.
Okay.
Doesn't matter, it's going to be saved as is. So when that moment's over, click the press button, and then it's tagged into the recording. So all of these moments are on my timeline. I can play them back, I can send them out, and I can write up my summary minutes and email them to you directly. So action after action, I can tag different people. So if I click on action and I tag myself, let's say Rami, I can tag myself, and then if it's a deep action, so maybe you might be telling me, maybe I should check out some website, I should look at different competitors or something like that. I just have to put my name and I hit the end, and it'll load into my task list. So now all of my tasks are playable, so I can remember exactly what it was that I was looking for in my task item. I have my notifications, I have my upcoming meetings, and I have my wrap-ups. And wrap-ups are the places where I've already recorded. Here, for example, is a meeting that we had already recorded. All of my minutes become playable. So every one of my notes, if I'm trying to learn more about what they're talking about, I simply press play and I'll be able to listen back to the exact moment. And also I can search for any word. So if I search for the word client, it'll pull up every single time that that word was said in the recording. So here, the guy actually said client 42 times. So I can look through the different parts of the recording where he was discussing about the client, and I can say, okay, maybe it was when he was talking about this particular subject, global industry model. I simply click that, and what it'll do is it'll actually play it right away. So it's a meeting memory like I've never had before.
Interesting. And how the audio will be processed, where it goes, on the cloud, it stays there forever?
So as soon as the meeting's over, we upload it to the cloud. We enhance it for linguistic content so that you can hear it better. And then we run it through our algorithms to make it searchable. So we run it through a transcription engine and then put on our phonetic-based search, and you'll be able to search any word and pull out where it was spoken. And then on top of that, we process it to see who's speaking throughout, and we can actually identify when Rami is speaking from 1 minute to 1 minute 30, and then somebody else is speaking from 1 minute 30 to 2 minutes. And we can actually look for the moments where Rami was speaking. We can see how often does Rami lead to actions and decisions. Is Rami a very efficient speaker, or does he take time and take over the discussion? These are the types of information WrappUp will be able to empower you with to make a more productive workplace.
So as a startup, WrappUp, it's a startup, right?
Right.
With three
co-founders.
Three co-founders.
We're currently about 6 people.
6 people,
Yeah.
based in Dubai.
Based in Dubai. We just closed our seed funding. So we just raised just under $1 million, $800,000, alhamdulillah, from 500 startups, which is actually a local VC in the Valley,
yes.
and led by Beko Capital in the region. So they've been behind us from the start, and it's been one of the best parts of our round is having them with us from the beginning.
Excellent. So what is your background before coming here?
So actually I grew up in Washington, D.C. I'm Lebanese American, and I moved to Dubai about 10 years ago. Then I worked in consulting for about 4 years with Bain & Company, and then I quit to start this.
So what was your profession before that? Where did you get your studies?
So I was a strategy consultant. I studied mechanical engineering, but I went directly into the business side of things.
Okay.
I worked in retail banking, oil and gas, tech, retail, everything, working on business strategy, business development, long-term growth of billion-dollar companies. So we're trying to export innovation from Dubai to the rest of the world. So we're trying to ride a new coattail and a new path out of Dubai.
Mm-hmm. So you said you already have clients.
Yeah, we already have clients. We're actually in our private beta. If you'd like to sign up, you go to www.wrappup.co, and you can sign up for our private beta. And there you can actually jump the line with an early access code, which we can request and give to you directly.
So we need to wrap up our interview now.
There you go.
Thanks a lot.
You got your mallet. You got to wrap up.
Thanks a lot.
Thank
Pleasure
you
meeting
very
you,
much.
Rami.
It was a pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you. Cheers.